This movie review is a request from one of my watchers on YouTube by the name of Bobby. And Bobby has asked me to review this movie a few times. And I told him it was on the list, I just haven't got to it. Well, now is that time that I've gotten to it. And I want to start off and say that this movie has a cult following. So I know that I'm gonna be diving into some deep water, and I gotta tread lightly as I explain this movie from me to you guys, because this movie did get nominated for Best Director. This movie has some great acting in it. It's also a movie that's gonna mess with you a little bit. So you might have to watch it a few times to really understand what's going on. But also, I think the reason why there's not that many people reviewing this movie, because the fact it's a cult classic, because the fact it's kind of hard to understand, because the fact that if you pretty much go in on this movie, you might get burned alive. But today, I'm gonna take that risk because it's a review. It was a request for the movie from 2001, Mulholland Drive. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade A through F. Plus and minuses do count. And there's a movie you want me to review? Let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it as best I can. Now, I also have a Patreon called Patreon/Ali Zakka, and on Patreon, you get first come, first serve. So when you ask for a review, I get to it immediately because you're paying for my services. You also get first thoughts. You get trailer reaction, trailer reviews, and many, many more content. So, if you're like, alright, I need him to do this right now, please get on Patreon, sign up, and I'll get to it right when you pay me to do it. Now, let's get into 2001's Mulholland Drive. This movie was directed by David Lynch. He's done a lot of stuff like Twin Peaks and a bunch of other stuff that a lot of people really enjoy. This movie in the box office made opening weekend $587,000. It grossed in the United States $7 million. It has a budget of $15 million, but worldwide it made $20 million. So it kind of hit and miss. People didn't go see this movie, and I had never heard of it until this review. But the acting in this movie is really dang good. The acting in this movie is really good, and the directing of this movie is really good. And pretty much I'm gonna tell you the story, and then from there I'm gonna jump into spoilers, because this movie you kind of need to watch it to understand what's going on. So the story: a lady goes missing after what seems to be a hit. So she goes missing, come across a aspiring actress. They become friends to figure out who this lady's identity is, and as they go on this journey to figure out who she really is, other stuff happens. And that is the basic plot of Mulholland Drive. Now, if you want to see what my grading is, go to the end of this review, because here's the spoilers. What really happens is that the girl who you think is the one trying to help the person who lost their mind or have amnesia really is not the girl you think she is, and it comes to find out that it's actually a dream that you're watching until the last like 30-40 minutes of this movie, and then it cuts into real life and it cuts into a whole different story. I was befuddled while I was watching. I was like, hold on, what I just watched for the last hour and 40 minutes is not a real thing? And if that's not the real thing, and that's the dream, and this is real life, what? Wait a minute. How did you know about the part she wasn't there for? The quote, Dragon Ball Z abridged. But this movie was done really well, where you thought you were watching an actual story. And there's little things that happened that was like kind of quirks that I was like, alright, this is one of those movies that's going to have some kind of twist. Things going to happen that, like, the way characters are acting, the way certain things are set up, you're like, this is going to turn into something that's what it's not. There's going to be a giant twist. And the giant twist wasn't really like a twist I thought would like oh, it's some alternate universe kind of thing. No, it was a dream. It's like Inception without the action. Put it that way. David Lynch did a good job with that. The directing, by the way, like in the dream world, the movie was brighter. It was much, much brighter. There's also certain things like at a diner, the characters set, all three sets of characters that went to this diner set in the same spot. I thought that was kind of neat. But then it takes into other people's mentalities and other things, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on there? And then you finally get to the main piece, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And there's only 2 reviews of this movie on YouTube. Only 2. One person who loves this movie, the other guy loves the movie. It's a girl who loves it and this guy who loves it. And this guy mentioned, which I think is very important for people who decide to watch this movie, it's not going to be for everybody. This movie is definitely not a movie for everybody. Giving the heads up right now. To me, it was kind of long. This movie is 2 hours and 27 minutes. I felt it was long. I felt like it didn't need to be dragged out. And there's certain things that David Lynch did in this movie that made it dragged out. For example, there's a scene where Rita, the girl who has amnesia, and she doesn't remember who she is, lost her memory. She is opening up a purse, and in this purse is wads of money, like over $1,000, like just boatload of money, and she's taking it out one wad at a time. And I'm watching this thinking, why is she taking this out so slowly? And then she reveals a key, and I'm like, why is it so slow? This movie, David Lynch did things where he made it slower than what it needs to be, and I felt like that kind of dragged the time out. I didn't think it was necessary, but he went ahead and did that. Also, the main character, Betty, who is played by Naomi Watts. At first, when she first comes into the scene, I was like, why is she acting like this? Like, why is her voice and her mannerisms and the way she's acting just seems off? And I thought like maybe the director's trying to force her to do this thing. And he was. She was supposed to act like this super girl from Ontario who was new to the area and just like super sweet and stuff like that. And then there's a scene where she has an audition. And then after that, her mannerisms kind of change. The acting she did, the voicing and the tone and her pitch shifted. She got a little more serious. And then at the end of the movie, when she wakes up and she is Diane, her acting's on like spot on. It's like, and almost to the point that I didn't realize Naomi Watts was that same person. I had to literally look at the review and was like, wait a minute, is this the same character? Like Naomi Watts was in the bed, right? And now she's, hold on, what did I miss? And like I had to look it up, like make sure I wasn't losing my mind. But yeah, Naomi Watts did a great job playing 2 different characters that almost did not realize it was, when a shift happened, it was still her. So props to her on that. But this movie, it was a long movie. I was intrigued all the way through the movie, but it was just super long to me. And then when you finally get that reveal and everything starts piecing itself together, you're like, oh, okay, all right. And then you realize that what she was going through was a dream. So you're like, oh, okay. That's why she knew about some of the things she knew out she wasn't there for. Or she knew of certain people's lifestyles and knew what they was going through. So she was like, okay. At one point, Billy Ray Cyrus is in this movie, and I was like, how is Billy Ray Cyrus in this movie? Where did he come from? And how did Naomi know about those parts that she wasn't there for? It was her dream. This is how she's making up the world what it is. I get it. All right. Okay. And for the most part, besides the movie being really long and really dragged out, I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good little movie. Thought it was fun, interesting to watch. I wouldn't say the best movie to watch. I was like, kind of had like, all right, what's the next scene, guys? Pick it up and get what's going on. And then there's stuff to me that happens midway through the movie or beginning of the movie, and it just gets dropped. You don't see him again. And then they come back at the end, you're like, wait a minute, what? And I also thought it was a, thriller movie that's hunting down the person who was lost, who had amnesia and forgot who she was. I thought this movie would be like the hit mob trying to go after her and get her, but it's not the case at all. Even though you can assume that she lived at the end of the movie, you really don't know what happens to her. But let's go ahead and get into characters, by the way. So Betty Watts, I'm gonna call her Betty Watts, it's just Betty, who is played by Naomi Watts, who is also Diane Swellen. At first, when you first get introduced, like to, I said, to Betty, you're like, who's this fake person? Why is she acting this way? Why is Diane being like why is Naomi being this way? And because Naomi was pretty much was told to act that way. And then you see as Betty progresses throughout the movie, she is shifting, her mentality is shifting more and more. And then when she turns to Diane, you're like, oh shoot, okay. This is why, like, and you're like, oh my gosh, like the mentality completely flips. And what it is Betty is Diane's dream character. It's her dream life, what she wished her life was been, what she wished that with the person she wants to be and get to live the life she wants to be with this person. That is what Betty dreamed of, and reality comes into play. And when she wakes up as Diane, she realized the dream that she had is no longer what she wants, or no longer what she's living in. She's living in the real world. She's single now. She lost her lover, her girlfriend. She lost the role she wanted to be in, when she came to aspire to go to Hollywood to be this great actress. She lost that role, and also she got to watch her ex make out in front of her and date the director of a movie and get engaged apparently, and now she's putting a hit on her. It's like pretty much her dream world was pretty much broken up when she woke up from in real life and reality sits in. Naomi did a great job portraying both these characters. Laura Herring, who plays Rita / Camilla, Laura did a great job. She did a great job. She made you believe that she lost her mind and forgot her memory, and not really lost her mind, but lost her memory, and she trying to get that back. And she played that character who didn't really know who she is, and kind of scared and going through the mentality, like going through the whole, like, who am I? What's my life? Kind of thing. And then when she plays Camilla, she was manipulative. She was mean. She was like disrespectful. She told Diane, like, hey, we gotta end this, we're done. But then forces Diane to sit around, watch her make out with the director of a movie. Like, that's messed up. And then invite her to a party where they're no longer together, but she invited her ex to the party to tell everybody that she's engaged with the director. That's just messed up. And you no longer feel anything for Rita. You're kind of like, okay, that's messed up, man. Messed up. You also have Adam, who's played by Justin Theroux. Thought he did a good job as well. He was kind of a guy who got screwed over, and then because he got screwed over, he became a dick to people and kind of like was just a jerk to people. And then at the same time, you saw like he goes back home after leaving the set early because he lost his job, to find out that his wife cheated on him. So now you're like, oh, that's not his fault. And pretty much it's Betty's, or I should say Diane's dream and her experiences playing out in front of her. The guy that actually cheated, or I guess not really cheated per se, or I guess Camilla did cheat on Diane at one point, but the guy that Carmilla ended up being with was the guy who was getting cheated on in her dream. So that's a little neat little twist there. But those are really the main characters. Everybody else comes and goes. There's a lot of people in this movie, but I don't think they all really like stand out. Oh, where's the one dude who is known as the Cowboy? He represented, here we go. Cowboy, who played by Montgomery. He is kind of like Diane's conscience. He comes in, tell Diane like, hey, you just need to act right, stop acting like a bad person. If you act out of hand, you're gonna see me 3 total times. If you do the good thing, you're gonna see me twice. The first time was in a dream, the second time he woke her up, and the third time he's walking by. And that third time you realize something bad is about to happen, and that is where we get to Diane's eventual suicide, pretty much. She kills herself because she can't handle the anxiety that she put the hit on her ex-girlfriend, and she can't handle the fact that detectives may be coming after her because Camilla got away somehow, or Camila got away somehow. We really don't know, but we have a feeling she did because of the fact how the beginning of the movie set up. So you might wonder that she might have got away, and now the detectives are coming after her. She commits suicide at the end of the movie, and that's kind of how the movie ends. And for one part, I actually wanted this movie to be more the last 40 minutes than the first hour. What we got? Hour and 40. Sorry, hour and 40 minutes. The first hour and 40 minutes. The last 40 minutes I felt like was. And I could be wrong with that. I feel like my it could be the last 40 or last 30. But I felt like I wish I would have had more of a movie of just that part right there of Naomi's character and Laura's character and their relationship more deepening, and the fact that she's more of a manipulative person, Camilla's a manipulative person, and just disrespecting Diane, and Diane's going through all this anxiety and going through all these things and loss, and like I wish we'd got more of that versus the first hour and 40 minutes that led up to that. That's just my thought. But yeah, it's a good movie. It was fine. It wasn't really a movie I was truly into, to be honest, but I give credit to the acting. The acting was great. Really great. Naomi Watts knocked out the park to me. The directing, when you look back on that movie and realize the first hour and 40 minutes is purely a dream, and the lighting and the color and the shading of the movie sets up like dreamlike, and then when you go into the real world, it gets darker and it gets more moody and the color shades become more gray. I love those little details that you might not notice, but this director put that in there, and I was like, props to that. Music is fine. There's nothing that seems out of place for this movie. Now, is this a Friday night movie? No, I wouldn't really watch this movie with my friends and family. I would watch this movie more like, just as maybe a Saturday movie by yourself. A movie more you need to digest yourself. If you've got a lot of distractions going on, you're going to miss some stuff. Grading time. I'm going to grade the movie Mulholland Drive from 2001 a solid B. This movie gets a B for me. The acting was done really, really well. The directing at certain times was like, okay, I feel like they're going off on here, but the little cues and little hints and lighting and shading thought was done well as well. Say that 3 times fast. And the fact how the director David Lynch told Naomi, like, okay, I need you to act like this in this scene, and then shift from here, and then shift to this, and you almost, the way he set characters up and how they acted and reacted, you felt everything. I thought it was done really, really well. So, yeah, a B. It's a B for me. If you've seen the movie Mulholland Drive, what'd you think? And for those of y'all who be like, how dare you give this movie a B? Well, the IMDb score for this movie is an 8. That's a B minus. To me, a B is 85%. So yeah, it's a B. So you said this movie, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episodes of movie breakdowns or grind towards success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.